Hello, good morning. I'm Drew Almario. I will be the reporter for this day. We will be discussing the first part of the class, the Management Information System, and I'm in charge of the second part of this first report, which has to do with the global e-business and collaboration. So today's session is divided into 2.1 and 2.4, since the 2.2 and 2.3 discussion is already reported by my partner. So the 2.1 tries to address the question, how do systems serve the different managed groups? A company has different groups which has different functions. They have a different key performance indicator or key objective results. But then though they work distinct, they have to work together as a group in order to reach a optimal organizational performance. So how does this system link and improve the enterprise improvement? The second part, the last one, is the role of the information system functions in a business. Let's get into it. So let's try to answer the question, how do the systems serve the different managed groups in a business? And how do the systems that link the enterprise improve organizational performance? So a typical business organization has systems supporting processes for each of the major business functions. According to Louden, the book that we are using, there are at least 4 business organizations. The first one is the sales and marketing. They are the one in charge for the customer. The second group is the manufacturing and production. They are in charge of the goods that they're trying to sell. The third one deals with the finances and accounting. So they're the one that are looking out for the cash flow. And the last one are the human resources. So they're the one taking care of the worker of the company. Alright, the first one is the system for different group, which is called the Transaction Processing System, or also known as TPS. It is a computerized system that performs and records the daily routine transactions necessary to conduct business. And a diagram or an example is followed by. So a good example of a TPS or transaction processing system is one of the most often used, which is the payroll system. So the payroll system, at the center of it is an input and an output. So it contains the employee data or a database, which is also accessible by an online queries. And the employee data is composed of such as employee number, the name, the address, the pay rate, the gross pay, the tax, the health insurance, state tax, net pay, earnings, and so on and so forth. But this payroll system data of an employee is used for general ledger. It can be also used by the management reports. It can be accessed by the government agency if needed, and it is often used for employee paychecks. So a business intelligence is a contemporary term for data and software tools for organizing, analyzing, and providing access to data to help managers and other enterprise users make more informed decisions. So nowadays, those that are in charge of decision making are not just looking at the numbers, but it is recorded, organized in such a way that it can be easily understood and accessed and processed. And the software is given capabilities to analyze. So these are arranged on its own, and it provides access to other managers as well. So this has been a big help for most companies nowadays. Another system for a different group is the Management Information System. It provides middle managers with reports on the organization's current performance. So this information is used not just to monitor but also control the business as well as predict future performance. So the middle managers are always on the lookout for the competitive analysis, trend analysis, as well as the business outlook of their own enterprise. So this one helps them a lot in their decision making. So how does the Management Information System obtain their data from the organization TPS or the Transaction Processing System? So in this system, illustrated by this diagram, there are three TPS, transaction processing system, supply this and summarize the transaction data to the MIS reporting system. At the end of the time period, managers gain access to the organizational data through the MIS, which provides them with the appropriate reports needed at that particular time. So for example, the order file goes to the order processing system, which is translated into MIS files such as the sales data. The production master file then processed into materials resources planning system, then moves on to the unit product cost data and product change data. And then the last one is the accounting files, which is moved into the general ledger system that become expense data. These MIS files are processed into management information system, which is converted into reports which are displayed on online dashboards by the managers. And as they look upon their dashboards, they make up-to-date decision makings based on those information obtained from the data. Another sample MIS report is summarized annual sales data produced by the MIS. So it has the product code on one side, and then the product description, such as, for example, carpet cleaner or room freshener, and then the sales region where it is being offered, its actual sales and the plan, and then the data that is gathered are organized and analyzed in such a way that you can see the actual versus the plan. So this example is taken from Consolidated Consumer Products Corporation sales by product and sales region in 2017. Another system for different group is the Decision Support System, or DSS. It focuses on the problems that are uniquely and rapidly changing, for which the procedure for arriving at a solution may not be fully predefined in advance. Another system for different group is the Decision Support Systems. It focuses on problems that are uniquely and rapidly changing, for which the procedure for arriving at a solution may not be fully predefined in advance. Example of DSS is a voyage estimating. For example, in this DSS operates on a powerful PC. It is used daily by managers who must develop bids on shipping contracts. So from the ship file, such as the speed, capacity, port distance restriction file, fuel consumption cost file, ship charter hire history cost file, and port expense file. So it moves into analytical models database, then processed into a powerful computer, and it is made available in an online queries. So those at least 5 considerations are processed into an analytical model basis, which are made available to the managers who are needed to make an on-time decision making. Another system for different group is the Executive Support System, or ESS. They address the non-routine decisions requiring judgment, evaluation, and insight because there is no agreed on procedure for arriving at a solution. So these are the unanticipated and non-routine. ESS present graphs and data from many sources through an interface that is easy not for the middle managers but for the senior managers to use. So this one, it appears on the digital dashboards, which delivers comprehensive and accurate information for decision makers in the upper management. It is often using a single screen, and the graphical overview for key performance indicators or KPI helps managers quickly spot areas that need attention. So it has the sales type by 2017, which is presented in a pie graph, a sales revenue presented in a bar graph, as well as the media utilization, and the forums on investment, the other factors in relation to the ROI, and the average quantity and average amount. Another system for different group is the enterprise systems. Information that was previously fragmented in many different systems is stored in a single comprehensive data repository where it can be used by many different parts of the business. So the enterprise applications automate processes that span multiple business functions and organizational levels and may extend outside the organization. So it includes the processes in the enterprise system, the supply chain management system, the knowledge management system, and the customers relationship management system, or CRM, in which it goes overboard on the suppliers, business partners, and the customers, distributors. Another system for different group is the supply chain management systems. It helps manage relationships with their suppliers. These systems help suppliers, purchasing firms, distributors, and logistics companies that share information about orders, production, inventory levels, and delivery of products and services, so they can source, produce, and deliver goods and services efficiently. Another system for different group is the customer relationship management systems, which is very common for most BPO companies, especially in the Philippines nowadays. It helps manage the relationship with their customers. The CRM system provides information to coordinate all of the business processes that deal with the customers in regards with sales, marketing, and service to optimize revenue, customer satisfaction, and customer retention. So one of the build up the company is to in sales is to make the customers happy, and so that they can upsell, cross-sell, and retain these customers and become ambassadors for the company. Another system for different group is the knowledge management systems. Some firms perform better than others because they have better knowledge about how to create, produce, and deliver products and services. That's all for the first part of this report. The second one, the second objective of this report has to do with answering the question, what is the role of the information system function in a business? So let's get into the second part of this report, 2.4, which tries to address the question, what is the role of the information systems function in a business? So the information systems department is the formal organizational unit responsible for information technology services. The information systems department is responsible for maintaining the hardware, software, and the data storage and networks that comprise the firm's IT infrastructure. So we're going to look at least 9 IT personnel responsible for the information systems functions in a business. The first one are the programmers, of course. They are the highly trained technical specialists who write the software instructions for the computers. So this is one of the highest paid and most demand work nowadays. The second one is the systems analysts. So they're not just the programmers who wrote the software, but they are the one that constitute the principal liaisons between the information system group and the rest of their organization. It is the systems analyst job to translate business problems and requirements into information requirements and system. So they are the one that bridge in between the information system as well as the business aspect of the company. The third one is the information system manager. They are the leaders of the teams of programmers and analysts, project managers, as well as physical facility managers, telecommunication managers, or database specialists. They're also managers of computer operations and data entry staff. So they put all these individual programmers, IT personnel, and they're the one in charge of making the computer operation as smooth as possible. The fourth one is a high-ranking position in a company, which is called the Chief Information Officer, or the CIO. It is not only mid-level management, but rather a senior manager who oversees the use of the information technology in the firm. So today's CIOs are expected to have a strong business background. It means to say they must have a working knowledge or expertise in regards to the business process that the firm is conducting, as well as a information system expertise. So in which the leadership role he is providing, it is to integrate technology into the firm's business strategy. Not only CIO, but also a CSO is a senior manager level, which is in charge of information system security. So nowadays, one of the greatest threat in a company is the cyber threat. So the data that is collected are highly valuable information, which is at times the bread and butter of a company. So the CSO is the one in charge of the information system security for the firm, not to be breached by the hackers, and is responsible for enforcing the firm's information security policy. This includes also the law of the land, which is, for example, to protect the data privacy of the customers as well as the employees. As mentioned a while ago, each country has its own privacy law or Data Privacy Act, and the one responsible in a company to ensure that it is compliant with it is the Chief Privacy Officer. It should be noted, for example, in the Philippines, there has been a lot of data breach in regards to the business transactions of the people in regards to the online banking system. So the one that should be held accountable and responsible that these things will not happen are what we call the Chief Privacy Officer or CPO. Another high-ranking official in a company that deals with the information system is the Chief Knowledge Officer or CKO. It is the one responsible for the firm's knowledge management program. The CKO helps design programs and systems to find new sources of knowledge or to make better use of existing knowledge in organizational and management processes. Second to the last is the Chief Data Officer or CDO. It is responsible for enterprise-wide governance and utilization of information to maximize value the organization can realize from its data. The CDO ensures that the firm is collecting the appropriate, not just data, to serve its needs, developing appropriate technologies for analyzing the data and using the results to support business decisions. So it does not just deal with gathering data, analyzing it, but it should be functional and at advantage for business processes so that the other managers can make decisions, informed decisions based on those data that are gathered. Last one is, of course, the end users. They are the representatives of department outside the information system group for whom applications are developed. For example, in Netflix, who are the consumers of it. So with the coming of the Disney Plus in the Philippines, so there has been a healthy competition between the two apps, and the one driving the development for the app are the end users. So the data are gathered in which what movies are being watched most on a particular place, time, genre, and even the incident in which it is being repeated or post, even the thumbnails that are used, that are presented in the screen are gathered. So those data are gathered from the end users. These users are playing an increasingly large role in the decision and development of information system. So that's all. Thank you and God bless.